Okay, so I'm back with Jupiter in the first house. And, it seems quite simple on surface dealing with people with Jupiter in the first house. But Jupiter in the first house, they see things, they see life as something, a grand, as just stomping grounds, expansive stomping grounds. And there's lots that they can go after, they can accomplish, they could be a huge visionary. People can look towards them for people that is just the ideal model to follow. They could be inspirational and they could make it through quite a bit of stuff. As a matter of fact, people with Jupiter in the first house, they could, depending on how they insert themselves in the world, is where they gain lots of luck, lots of benefit, lots of opportunity. Now, keep this in mind. And you guys know how I am. If you've been following me, you know how I am. If you have not, then you slip it. And I don't know what your problem is, but you need to get it together right now. Okay? But y'all know how I am. I give you the whole shebang. The whole shebang about what we're dealing with here. Because a person with Jupiter in the first house could be presented with many opportunities, but they could easily be stuck in a place to where they don't utilize those opportunities, or that they don't insert themselves into those opportunities, that they don't prepare themselves for those opportunities. And I'm going to tell you why. The deeper you dig into your birth chart, and then depending on what sign Jupiter is in, is how it all plays out. Okay? And just because Jupiter is in your first house, it doesn't mean that you get to lay back and sleep. You have to constantly be like updating yourself, learning, put yourself in that position. Because Jupiter is about expansion, but it's about expansion as you progress yourself, as you learn. And you know what? No. I will have to say this. It's not about denying you of these opportunities and these rights because of obstacles and fear. It's about showing you the way, but then you turning around and utilizing or going forward to engage this progression and these opportunities. And it usually comes when you're able to expand past your current vision, how that has to happen in your current placement, stance in life. Like, for instance, a person with Jupiter in the first house, they can progress quite a bit. And they can become like this motivational speaker for people that have been stuck in a certain situation. Or they could become the image of that. Okay? But the people that were stuck in a certain situation, but they were able to move themselves beyond it. However, if a person with Jupiter in their first house is not looking for those opportunities, or have not learned to step past the current situation that they're in order to do this, they won't utilize the opportunities. I think about this with a Jupiter transit. I remember one year I had Jupiter transiting, the year that I noticed, this was after I was dead into astrology and everything, like deep into it. I had a Jupiter transit. Okay. And I went through quite a bit of learning through that transit. Everything that I was thinking was going to pop off the way that it did, it did. It brought attention. So people with Jupiter in the first house could definitely get attention and have attention. But the only thing is that you can easily get comfortable where you are. Like I was speaking about my transit. I kind of felt like the transit made me comfortable in the place that I was. And it wasn't trying to on purpose. It was because people kept feeding into what I do. Like, okay, yeah, you're doing good. And, I noticed like people around me, like my family and stuff, they was okay with me, seeming like I was in a position where I wasn't really moving up. They wanted me to do better, but actually doing better translate over to something different for them. Like, oh yeah, now you're not going to be able to do stuff for us or whatever. Hey, listen. People with Jupiter in the first house come across a lot of people, a lot of selfish people in selfish situations. And you have to know what it is, because you could be overly giving of your energy, of your time, of your image, And I'm telling you, listen, y'all really want real change here? Y'all really want to know how to move past these circumstances? So for me, I noticed Jupiter transit in my first house. Mind you, I do have Jupiter in my first house. By the fact that I have Sagittarius on my ascendant. So I deal with this all the time. But the fact that Jupiter, the planet that was transiting around the sun, that planet in my first house, it became a lot for me to handle because it was opportunities everywhere. I had to really be focused. So it's important for you to know your path and who you are with Jupiter in the first house, because there's opportunities everywhere. I'm feeling like I'm pulled in these different places. There's all this different information and knowledge to learn. Jupiter wants to learn it all. Yes, learn, but really get to the place of where you can learn what does benefit you and how it benefits you. Like, how are you using it in how you're developing yourself and the opportunities that you really want to take on? That's what you have to do, because you can make some great achievements. And Jupiter in the first house has to understand that when Jupiter, like, you do get in lucky situations. I feel like you can easily get yourself in lucky situations, or situations where you could have thought something wasn't going to go the way that it's supposed to go, and it did at the last minute, or you was able to see your way through stuff. But so that happens with Jupiter in the first house. But I really do feel like deep down to the core, Jupiter in his first house is about expansion, and you have to be able to expand or you run out of luck. It's just like the Jupiter transit. When Jupiter is transiting a certain sign, planet, whatever, you get these opportunities, or you get lucky throughout the transit, but then when the transit is gone, you feel like your luck dries up because you did not utilize what the luck or the blessings were. Okay. So Jupiter in the first house could be just so out there with their vision, real grand with it, and really think, oh yeah, I'm going to start this salon or something, or open a salon, and then it's going to be big. Like, we're going to be waitressing, serving drinks, whatever in there. And that can happen. But the steps that you take towards really doing that, are you really actively doing it? You have to be engaged in it and taking these steps. And you get into it, but then you start realizing, like, dang, like, it's not what I thought. I don't have this grand salon, and people are not, like, here like I thought. And I'm not able to serve drink. I have to get a drink license or whatever, whatever. You start finding out the details because you really miss the details. The details of how to what everything was going to take. Okay. And then the fact that everything doesn't happen like as quick as you thought, or how you thought, it can make you lose the momentum and say, oh, this is not going to work. I'm going to move on to something else. When no, it's saying, no, really look at the details. You keep your vision, bring your vision in a little bit or a lot, and start looking at the details, looking at it really in a way that you can manage your situations and what it's really going to take to see you grow, the work that it's really going to take, and then you can execute it. Okay? And so Jupiter in the first house can be beneficial when it comes to opportunities. It's about putting yourself in those opportunities. And, and people can see you as someone with great potential. And you do have it. And, like, people can notice you when you go places. They can feel that, because I was going to say, people can feel like you're lucky with what you do. But listen, this is why it's good to have your talent that you're in, or know your path. Because you will very well be lucky in that path. Like, if you do hair, guess what? People hair you do, you'll be known for it. They'll feel like you're great because you'll be able to make their hair grow. You'll be able to show them a different technique that they can use that works for them when it couldn't work before. If you're a lawyer, people are going to see you as the best lawyer. Because they're going to see you as a lawyer that knows your stuff. A lawyer that can get them out of jail. Get them charges dropped. Okay, them charges. If you are a teacher, people are going to see you as that teacher. That teacher that knows a lot, that is not stuck in the traditional way of doing things, that expands and offers the kids more, and they're going to want their children in your class. You get what I'm saying? But first, you have to utilize the opportunities. You have to know yourself. You have to have that vision, but you have to be able to break that vision down and work with that vision, because if not, Jupiter can be more of a burden than a privilege. And you definitely can get yourself out of some pretty sticky situations. but Jupiter in the first house is also, people can see you as this great thing, this great figure, and you can feel like, why are they doing this? Like, I can't help them. Like, I'm not that person they're trying to make me out to be. I'm not, and everything you do can be inflated, even if it's negative, so it's and you can just really feel like, well, they're giving me these big shoes to fill, and I'm not that person. And and everything on Front Street, or everything, you feel like, well, I don't understand it. Why am I the talk of this or that? And because some people with Jupiter in the first house, they want to shy away from that. Like, people can see you as what they want to see you as. They see you as this great teacher, but you're like, no, but I want to do hair. But yeah, so keep this in mind. So Jupiter in the first house, have your vision, because it's probably going to be big, but be willing to look at the details of it and actually work towards it and put yourself in opportunities, okay? Don't shy away from it. All right, so this has been Jupiter in the first house. I'm your girl, Butterfly to Light. I will return.